Alright, I'm recording another game. Might just be me for commentary this time. This is Soul versus Flow. Hitlist versus Starlist. Right now, Hitlist is up 4-2. And I'm gonna tell my buddies that they can join me for commentary if they want. Alright, so you can kind of see it happen there. Flow started, Sabersaur's back row pass. Soul had turn one rabbit, and it looks like Flow just doesn't have anything. No maxi, no actual trap, no nothing. So I'd say Soul looks like he's in a pretty good position here. If I had to guess, I'd say Flow's back row is probably like a fiendish chain. Soul's been doing very well in the playoff in general. Like he went 4 wins, 2 losses in his last war in top 6, and he has 2 wins and 0 losses right now in top 4. So Soul's he's certainly performed pretty well. He's used Rabbit throughout, managed to beat through all the mirrors. So I'll see if he can do so again. So he actually had MST. Soul's like, I'll let it go through. So it looks like we might see a Gores here. That's one way to come back. Now if Soul's back row is like a solemn warning, he would get him pretty good. Yep, there's that Gores. Oh, and he has the warning, jeez. What a master. That was pretty lucky there. Vlo set him up so good, but he didn't hit the correct back row. He left him with the solemn warning. Nice try, nice try. But Vlo still could come back, Soul. He did use up his warning, which means he won't have it for like a tour guide or a rabbit of his own. But all he's got is a Sabersaurus. It's unfortunate. So one would think his back row is like a Lance or a D-Prisoner, a Mirror Force or something, but you never know. Maybe Soul has the mind control here. That would be pretty good. He's going to Valor the Guaba. I guess Flo doesn't have much of anything. It looks like this game's going to be over pretty soon. So he's got the tour guide. Let's see if Soul has an answer. Oh, he's got Maxi. That's a good one. Leviathan. Now, if by chance Soul has no answers to that Leviathan, it could get there, but it is highly unlikely. He's got the book. That looks like an answer to me. We might just see Vlo scoop it up here. Alright, so he's gonna Fiendish Chain the Guava. He kinda has to. Oh, but he's got the Lance. Alright, now Vlo scoops it up.
Hey Alan, I wanted to ask you if you could log on to your credit union account and just print your tax statement for 2011.
Okay.
I don't think you have to file this year, but I still need to give that to the accountant to prove that, hey, this is all you made was the interest off the account.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Anyways. So Soul's done citing pretty quickly. I know Soul, like most good rabbit players, cite out the Guavas for the mirror match. They're not horrible, but like they're not particularly good. You're citing in monsters and need to take out something. So he's probably going to cite out like Guavas for Snowman Eaters and Reapers or something. Something to that effect. Let me space so I don't get timed out. That duel was pretty quick. Still had control about the whole way through, really. Vlo has never really had. The only shot he had was the Gores, but then he got warninged and certainly dream crushed him. Geez, just one back row pass. That's not too good. Turn one, Cavazals isn't that stellar either. So this might be one of those games where both players, drew kind of suboptimally, and those are actually the fun ones to watch. Vlo thinks he's playing YVD, apparently. He tried to sub 17 instead of typing it in the little box. Does Vlo have the end phase MST? Nope. Yeah, that's funny. I remember Soul got mad at Thumper because he kept in Guavas for the mirror match, which is generally not considered correct. But, like, it is good when you ram into the Cavazals, but, like, the situation comes up very rarely. So, like, Soul probably tilted now. So, like, he kept in that card. It would be funny if next turn he just had another one. Oh man, he's going for the big beats, but Vlo has Torrential. The old +1 Torrential. I think Soul is not very happy right now, if I had to guess. And if Vlo has Rabbit, this game is going to be over. Oh, he has Rabbit. The old Torrential MST Rabbit. And Soul has Maxi, but he's still not in a very good position. Sometimes Pot of Greed just isn't good enough. No fear of that Gores. In situations where you can cut your opponent's life in more than half, I can understand not playing around Gores. It makes sense. Soul's got 4 cards. Let's see what kind of follow-up he has. Oh, okay, he has 5 cards he hadn't drawn yet. So a little more even. So he's going Dark Hole to force the negation. Question is what he has after that Dark Hole. Oh, just some back rows. Jeez, that's not as good as it could have been. I wonder what they are. Volo's like, well, I think one's a torrential, so I'm just going to hit for 24 and put you at 200. I would agree with that play. Oh, Reborn. Getting back his opponent's Guaba. Now that's interesting. Because I think Soul sided his out. Although maybe he changed his attitude. Maybe, you know. Oh, he did have it. Good job, Soul. Read that maxi like a pro. Just gonna Reborn. Set another back row and then pass. That's interesting. Torrential, there it is. Soul did have the torrential. But Soul is in trouble, because he's still at 200. Soul needs to, like, rip a Rescue Rabbit here. Spawn another Pot Avarice, put him even farther behind. Why not? Is he gonna shuffle those monsters back or what? Oh, he's gonna leave the Lagia in his grave. That's interesting. I would generally disagree with that line of play. I would rather have my extra deck have one more card and my deck have one less card. Like, you really don't need to shuffle back like a max C here, given the board position. Monster Reborn. Solemn Judgment. Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. I wonder if he should have Solemned the Avarice. Like, I don't know if he got there born off the Avarice or not. Like, sometimes you want to Solemn Judgment that Avarice just because it's a +1. But I think here, you'd be better to save it. He's like, what you gonna do, buddy? You gonna Fiendish Chain my Maxi? You gonna Lance my Maxi? Nope. Soul's just scooping it up. And we're on to game 3. Being at 200 is not where you want to be. All of a sudden, your opponent's, Maxis just become awesome. So Soul does have the advantage of starting first. I think he doesn't have Rabbit, or he would have slammed it by now. Two back rows and pass. Let's see what kind of follow-up we got from the other side of the table. Oh, the all 19 beats. Jeez, that's it? Man, that is rough. I can't imagine what hand he has that the best play is summon Sabersaurus, attack for 19, set no back rows, go. Oh man, Soul has the mind control. This guy's going to get destroyed. Now I think Soul would make Dolka here to play around the Gores. Really? I guess that means Soul has the Sob warning then. I figure, like, knowing Soul, I think he would have to play around the Gores here. So the fact that he didn't make Dolka, in my mind, means that he must have a warning set. Or maybe a set Vanity's Emptiness, and he'll flip it up before he attacks. That's a possibility as well. See, he's thinking. I think he does have the set Vanities, and that's what he's thinking about. He's thinking if he wants to flip it and then attack. I'm, like, very positive. Because I know post-board, Soul does have 2 Vanities Emptiness in his deck. I'm pretty certain of that. Yep, there it is. There's that emptiness. I know you better than you think, Soul. Lol. Obviously, the downside there is that if Flo has the MST, he could in theory get a 2-for-1. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, he can't use the rabbit's effect, so that must mean he has like, oh, Smash and Ground MST. That would make sense. Oh, he has the Lance. That is a very good Lance. That is a very, very good Lance. Oh, yeah, the emptiness does die now. That's true. Yeah, I won't let you take it back. What do you think this is, for funsies? Oh yes, now the laggy is 16. What, does Soul have the warning set? Oh, he has another emptiness. That is insane. Sometimes you just have the dub's emptiness. Now he's going to fall to 32. Lucky Emptiness is a very good setup, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't get much better than that. He's going to set another back row. Let's see what he's got. Now a set monster. Now a Snowman Eater would be pretty retarded right now, because he would just kill the Lagia and get rid of the emptiness. And Soul can't special summon because he's got that emptiness on the field, so if it's a Snowman Eater, he better have like a Nobleman of Crossout or something, or things are going to get pretty ugly. The only like reasonable counterplay I think Soul could have to the Snowman Eater is like, you know, have a set Fiendish Chain and just say go. But that still would buy Vlo some time, so I mean, helpful either way for him. And of course, the interesting thing is if Soul has the Fiendish Chain, if Soul does have the Fiendish Chain, then he would want to not attack in fear of the snowman, but it might actually just not be a snowman. It could just be a random monster. Like, you know, a Vanilla or a Maxi or something. So, like, the mind games here are, like, really interesting when you think about it. I can honestly understand why Soul is, taking a while, because depending on the cards that he has, he could certainly have a very hard decision. Next, Soul's aiming me right now. If a card is negated, if I negate something I play with Lagia from my hand, will Vanity be graved? Let me see if Autumn is on. Because if Autumn's on, I'll ask him. I gotta go look up the ruling for this guy. Yeah, I think what's going on here is like Soul's trying to like figure out how to get his emptiness off the field so he can win, but like it's not gonna work. So I guess Soul's gonna have to solve this puzzle another way. Alright, well then go to the bathroom then. Let me space so I don't get timed out. I guess Saul has some play that only works if he doesn't have Valor. Now, if I were Saul, I would assume he doesn't have the Valor. But what do I know? Alright, so he's gonna summon Rabbit. And he's gonna get his emptiness off the field somehow, I imagine. Okay. So I guess he's gonna make Dolka. So now if, like, what else does he have? Like, Reborn or something? Yeah, I guess he does have Reborn. Now, if Lo has a Reaper, or like an Arcana Force the Fool, he's just gonna be completely raped. Oh my god, can we just play the game, please? Talk about rulings later? Okay, that is game. Alright, Sol wins. He solved the puzzle.